Hey guys, Cassandra here with Prosperous Heart, coming at you today on, well, something that really got me fired up. I'm not technically normally a political person, but I heard a story today about something that happened in 2012 that, and then in well, anyway, sorry, I'll get on with it. So let me just start out by saying that I am a libertarian. Okay, what does that even mean? For me, what I believe in is do no intentional harm unto others. I believe in the rights of the people, not big business. Now, common sense does come into play here. That woman who sued over the hot coffee with McDonald's, she never should have won. Like, it's coffee. If they sold it to you cold, it's probably kind of gross. I don't drink coffee, but common sense people, right? I believe in the rights and privileges provided and outlined in the original Constitution and Bill of Rights. Now, why do I say original? Because of what I see in these rewritten books, the textbooks that they're teaching our children in school these days. It's totally different than what was originally written. So that's why I say that. I believe in when you help your neighbor, you help yourself, and you can have anything in life you want as long as you help enough other people get what they want. Just keep that in mind when I unfurl this news item that I was referring to earlier. So there's an old Colorado law. I don't remember when it came in or what the thoughts were behind this, but basically it only protects the gun and ammo industry. It doesn't protect the people. There's not another law like it for any other service out there. And basically what it is if you bring a lawsuit against the gun and ammo industry in Colorado, if you lose your lawsuit, you pay the legal fees and everything that was incurred for that lawsuit. Now, for me, I can't see any reason why that law would be in play unless it was lobbied by someone from the ammo industry, gun and ammo industry. That there's no other reason for that, because all it does is benefit those people. Okay, so in 2012, the issue that happened there was in Aurora, Colorado. You guys might remember this Dark Knight Rising shooting. This guy named James Holmes, presumably he was a previous grad of the school, and he came in with tear gas canisters and hand grenades and like 3 different kinds of guns, thousands of rounds of ammunition, and he killed a young woman, Jessica Redfield Gawi. I don't know how to pronounce that. She was only 24 at the time. She was one of 12 who died, and over 70 or so people were injured, right? So, tragic. Absolutely tragic. In 2014, 2 years later, her parents sued the companies who supplied him his stuff. It was an online sales with 3 different companies. The first one was Lucky Gunner. They sold their stuff through bulkammo.com. They sold this guy 4,000 rounds. Probably, it's probably not something that raised a red flag, but if you're selling ammo for guns, maybe you should have a background check of some sort, right? The Sportsman's Guide sold the guy a 100-round mag and 700 rounds. BTP Arms sold 2 tear gas canisters and bulletproof body armor. So let's bring it all full circle here, right? So the U.S. and Colorado have laws protecting gun and ammo dealers from liability in most circumstances, which I can totally understand. People try and get money from people and just, whatever. But I also agree that it violates the constitutional separation of powers doctrine because it impinges on states' lawmaking powers and the constitutional due process rights of shooting victims with common law claims. And that law affects that. So I'm in total agreement with why the Phillipses and their lawyers, sued those companies. Now, I do agree that they probably should have gone after the state and not those particular companies, but they probably didn't know that, and maybe their lawyers didn't bring it up. I don't know, whatever. So basically, the issue is that they sold a single person ammunition and military-grade weapons or items over the internet and not in person. There was no background checks. There were no red flags. So, I agree with the group, the Brady Center Gun Advocacy Group, who stated that if businesses choose to sell military-grade equipment online, they must screen purchasers to prevent arming people like James Holmes. I completely agree with that. That makes sense to me. What's worse, they weren't even asking for damages. They weren't asking for damages. They were just asking for a change in their policy, or rather to end their negligent and dangerous business practices. So who was this judge that sided with the arms dealers on a law that only protects those arms dealers? U.S. District Judge Richard Matsch, I hope that's how you pronounce it, of Denver. He dismissed the case and ordered the plaintiff to pay the fees. And this actually marks the first time that fees have been granted under that law. So what gifts were awarded to these winners? The Sportsman's Guide were awarded $73,000 for their fees. Lucky Gunner requested $152,000, split between the plaintiffs and their lawyers, because they felt like the lawyers should have known. I don't know. Regardless, that's a total of $225,000 that these plaintiffs and their lawyers were told to pay, because they lost their lawsuit, because all they were asking for was that they change their policy and have a background check when someone's buying thousands of rounds of ammunition online, tear gas canisters online, and all this other stuff, right? I mean, it kind of makes sense. To most people's knowledge, this is the first judge to rule that the defendant should be awarded fees under this law. This is not a frivolous issue. This is not about gun rights. This is about gun and ammo companies providing an online service that sold ammunition, tear gas, body armor, and more to a deranged individual without any red flags to them that maybe this wasn't such a wise sell. Okay? So maybe that's changed. And the screening process should occur for online sales for such type of items. Now, on the flip side of that, I'm a little torn on this whole subject, because I actually reposted the original video that I saw on my Facebook wall, and I received some great feedback. It was wonderful. I like those kinds of intellectual discussions. But there was a suggestion that maybe they should have gone to the state, like I said earlier, that allow the kind of practice and not the individual companies. So I don't disagree with that. I kind of really do agree with that. But there's only background checks required for guns, and like I said earlier, maybe there should be background checks on ammo too, because if you have it required for guns, why not ammo? You kind of need guns to fire that ammo, right? So, tear gas, body armor, unless you're a police officer in the military, which you would just go on base or whatever and purchase your own stuff there, except probably ammo. Well, anyway, or unless you're someone who deals in weaponry, I'm just saying there should have been red flags. There should have been some type of check in place to have avoided this issue. So I've already gone on pretty long about this. I could talk some more. But again, with all that I said and believe in from the beginning of this video, I'm torn. I really am torn on the subject. I do not believe that the parent should be punished for this, but I'm also not sure how I feel about forcing them to do that. Like, if they have a law for background checks for people buying guns, there should be a law for people buying ammo, or there shouldn't be that law. Okay? I guess that's all I want to see right now. I don't want to go on too much longer. I'd love to know what you think. What is your take on the whole thing? Leave a comment below. Have a wonderful and prosperous day, and hopefully you don't have to hear something like this today much longer, but we all know how the world is. So just keep up, keep a smile on, do your best, and everything is going to be all right. All right, guys, have a good one.